Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my corner of the internet. Once again, my name is Jason, and today we're back with some more Elder Scrolls Arena. Last time we made our way through the Vaults of Gemen, got the tablet, brought it back to the Conclave of Baal. They gave us the they gave us the location of a dungeon called Murkwood, which is where we are heading right now. We're gonna go through this dungeon and get to the next piece of the Staff of Chaos. I love the icon, it's a little tree. It gives me a lot to hope that it'll be a lot more like the Elden Grove, which was one of my favorite dungeons in this game. It's gonna take us 17 days to get there. Let's go into the heart of the... Oh, I love the art! Oh, so good! The mists of Murkwood, the black forest, swirl about. Inside the dark forest can be heard faint cries of despair, souls who have lost their way within its cunning web. Though the smell of decay flows from every tree and stone, within this forest lies the seventh piece of the Staff of Chaos. Let's do this! Yes! It looks a lot like the Elden Grove, actually. A lot like the Elden Grove, like to the point where I'm like, am I in the Elden Grove? I hope there's some differentiating factors, because I'm both excited and actually a little bit disappointed. So let's walk through here. Yes, this looks like the Elden Grove. Or was it Elder Grove? No, it was the Elden Grove. The mists of Murkwood curl up around you, blinding you from danger and confusing your sense of direction. I was just thinking that, I'm like, even if I use light, I doubt it'll penetrate through the fog. Let's try it. Oh, it does actually. So basically the fog is just darkness. However, it does still affect me. I like this. Even with the light on, it's still hard to really see exactly where you're going and what's around you here. Okay, so the design, it definitely, well, I don't know if it's any different. It's been a while since I've been in the Elden Grove, but so far the design feels very open. And I think the game is relying on the fog to trip you up. Because if I didn't have a light spell, it'd be really hard to see, like, even 2 feet in front of me, and I'd have to, like, hug walls to make my way through this. As it is, I'm just running randomly around. That is cool. I like that. It uses the fog as an obstacle. I like that. I find too many games nowadays, or too many games in general, yeah, they use combat as their primary obstacle. Everything's all about combat, but I like environmental challenges as well. Now, wow, I haven't seen regular wolves in ages. It's so cool. I thought I saw something move. Ah, my eyes are playing tricks on me. This is great. Now, and you know, that's something I've got to commend the Elder Scrolls series on, is that they tend to be very good at... Actually, you know what, they've been pretty good at, we'll say, stuff like dungeon design, now that I think about it. There's traps in a lot of the dungeons, stuff like that. Yeah, I like this. I don't know, I'm trying to remember now. I don't think... Did the Elden Grove have this much fog in it? Or is that something that they've made sort of unique just for Murkwood? Which every time I hear the name, I cannot help but go, oh, somebody liked the Lord of the Rings. Like Middle-earth sort of lore. You could definitely tell there's a bit of that we'll say that influence in there, because if I'm correct, like I could be wrong, it's been a while since I've read the books, but didn't like, for example, Legolas, wasn't he one of the Mirkwood elves? He hailed from Mirkwood. He wasn't from like Lothlorien or anything like that, or Lorien. You know what I'm saying? I gotta reread those books. Well, probably read like the Silmarillion first. Anyways, we're talking Elder Scrolls, not Lord of the Rings, so let's try to get back on to the task at hand. Right now, what I'm doing is I'm sort of tracing the outline. I'm walking around the outside perimeter of Murkwood, and this is actually pretty big. And then after I'm done, we'll say, drawing the outside on my map, then I'm going to start working my way through the center. Just because I'm really curious how big this sucker is. And actually, you know, it's kind of nice to be in a dungeon that doesn't have water and I'm not jumping over things. Like, I like it. Let's fill that up again. I don't mind that, but it's a nice break to just be able to walk and wander, rather than always having to be like, okay, Shift J, you know, looking down at my keyboard because I got to remember the keys to do this and that. And actually, you know, that brings me up to a something I had been thinking about. It's kind of a philosophy I have with Ice Wolves too. Wow, it's a philosophy I have with, we'll say, games in general. I feel that games, you know, especially as much as we want to see them as, you know, works of art, why is it that games seem to have such a timer on them? I find a lot of people that it's like they're playing games, but it's like they always want the newest and greatest, and you know, I suppose that's normal. You want to see what kind of advancements in technology there are, and you know, that kind of thing. So you want to see the newest graphics, the newest features, but at the same time, I feel like there's always this rush to get to the newest things. Like, I know a lot of YouTubers, you know, they pretty much, they're always looking for the newest game. Okay, what's the in thing? What are people going to be watching? What are people into right now? And you know what? I don't necessarily want to do that. I feel that games should be timeless. Like, while we're constantly moving ahead, you know, trying to get the newest games and play the newest games and cover the newest games, from out of the mist comes the sound of drums. You know, there are so many games that we missed that while we were playing, you know, other games that, you know, we missed these other games, these games that could be absolute classics, these wonderful titles, and we've completely ignored them just because they weren't new. It's like I've seen and heard so many people like, oh, that game is like what? It's like 6 months old. Oh, it's not worth playing. You're playing 6 months old games? Seriously? I have honestly had that said to me. And it amazes me. I'm like, well, yeah, I'm still playing games from the 80s that I've never beat before. Because, like, why should I stop? Like, would you stop watching classic movies or old movies just because new ones are out? Like, yes, sure, you're gonna look at them and some of them you're gonna be like, wow, the special effects really have not held up over the years. But there's still a lot of great movies out there that, like, say, the newer generation has never had the chance to experience, and these are like classics. And firebolt. So I start to wonder, like, why is there this rush, this need to always play the newest? To me, I just look at the entire library of games that have released. I see something I want to play. I don't care what year it's from. I play it because to me, games are timeless. To me, this game here has every right to be played and compared alongside of games like Crysis. Or sorry, you can hear what sounds like heavy breathing through the mist, but the direction from which it came is impossible to determine. I like that! That's cool, it adds so much atmosphere. But it means I'm getting close to something. But yeah, like, that's my philosophy on things, and that's why my channel is kind of what it is. I'm not always trying to play the newest, greatest, and that, that's partially because of my computer. But even if I had a top-end computer that could play anything under the sun, absolutely maxed out, because as it is, there are very few games I can't play on my PC in some way. And I'm playing Arena, so that graphics are not a problem. I've got no qualms with turning things down to low or minimum settings. But the fact of the matter is, that's not always what I'm thinking about. I'm not thinking about the time that a game came out. I'm thinking about what I want to play. And I think I'm a little bit more people need to take that approach. So that's why on my channel, I will always have a place for new and old games, because I just want to play everything. And if that means having a backlog of thousands of games, then so be it. I'm not just out for the newest, greatest and stuff. So yeah. So let's see here. Because I think every game has something to offer that it's a product of its time. You've got, like, I'm gonna use Arena. We're gonna use Arena as the example here. What was a pretty popular or big thing here in back in those days? Well, we see they used Murkwood, which means I'm sure there's some reference there to Lord of the Rings. So, people were reading Lord of the Rings, so that's still relevant, I guess. Let's see, what other things? Well, games at the time, they were punishing. And we see that. It's a product of the time there. First-person games, I can't remember. I think they had started to become a little bit more widespread. Doom was... I can't remember what year... Actually, what year was Arena? Was it 94? Doom was either out or just around the corner, but we had Wolfenstein 3D anyways. So, first-person games were starting to make their appearance. Dungeons and Dragons was probably more relevant then than it is now. I might be just talking to my rear there. I'm going to admit that. I'm not saying that with any sort of evidence, so that might not actually be factual. I'm guessing right now. I'm speculating. And we see that even in the design. The game feels very Dungeons and Dragons, very pen and paper RPG. Even the design of the game, roguelikes were still kind of a thing. Maybe they weren't completely in style anymore, but I remember playing roguelikes in the 90s, so that's at least for me, it was relevant. But some of the guys who developed the games, they may have heavy breathings. Okay, so something off to my west. I'm sure it's off to the west here. Sound of drums. Oh, I'm out of magic. But, it's not just what was popular at the time. A lot of the people who maybe made this game were using what inspired them to make this game. So you've got, these roguelikes, which some of the interfaces of some of these roguelikes was pretty poor. And, maybe they said, hey, let's make a first-person game. Well, I know that it started off as, like, a combat-oriented game, but hear me out. I'm not just referring to Arena. There's also games like Ultima, Underworld and that, which went to first-person, and they had the same kind of feel. They may have grown up, or they may have played roguelikes before, and that inspired them to create a game that maybe was more accessible, but yet still somewhat roguelike. And then you kind of see there's that gradual evolution. And then you have the people who maybe join up with the team who played Arena, and then they want to make a newer game, but they want to incorporate newer elements into it. So, ultimately, I've forgotten what my ultimate point was, but you know, games are products of the time. And as such, every game is going to have a unique feel, and you can't latch on to any one time period, because I think that's a very good way to be disappointed. Where is this? I have a feeling I'm looking for a door or like a set of stairs leading down. Maybe north? Up through here? No. What was that? What the heck was that? Okay, that was kind of creepy. I liked it, but it was creepy. Holy crap! You friggin' scared me. Get out! No, I'm in the corner! I'm in the corner! I'm in the corner! In case of emergency, break glass! Nah, Nukem Dukem robot should do the trick. I panicked. I totally panicked there. The guy saw me, he started beating on me, I'm just like, ah! Screaming like a little girl. Oh, wow. I thought I was gonna die, which reminds me, I should be saving. I should definitely be saving my game. We're gonna say this is working too. From out of the mist comes the sound of drums. Okay, wait, here it is. This here. This looks different than the rest of the area that I've been running around in. Okay, let's follow the brick. Stay close to the brick. Oh yes, thank you! Thank you, I wanted to refill my stuff. Oh, that's good, sneaky peeky like again. Come on, keep shooting me. There we go, good boy. Now let me show you how Firebolt is really done. Oh. I was seriously really close to using in case of emergency. I was freaking out there. That was great. I love that about these games. Huh. Okay, something's shooting, but I don't think it's shooting at me because I don't see any like residual flames or anything. Okay. I really like the approach that they took when designing this dungeon. Using the fog to really limit you. It's like the fog becomes the wall. Oh, I see it right there. Okay. Where are we? Okay, so I go down here. The hairs on the back of your neck rise as... Oh, what was it? What did it say? Something figures, shadows, dark, something moving. It was cool. Darn it. I missed it. I'll have to rewatch my video. That's actually one of the reasons why I love... Actually, I love Let's Play too, is that I can actually go back and see things again later. Yes, that's right. I'm admitting I've watched my own Let's Plays. I usually do anyways, watch a little bit to sort of do quality assurance kind of thing. If I feel things are a little bit too crappy, then I tend to just be like, nope, this is not going up, and I'll redo it. So there is a little bit of watching my own stuff, but... To pass this portal, answer my riddle. I tie and hold, capture and bind, yet both knights and knaves doth crave me. I faithfully enslave all within my grasp, whether or not they seek me. Yet those who have never felt my unmerciful hand are pitied by their fickle man. Fellow man? Fellow man! Oh, that's riches. It's riches. It's money. So basically, if people don't have money, those who've never are pitied by their fellow man. I'm guessing. Power. Power could be another thing. Okay, let's try a couple answers now. Riches. Answer again, mortal, for thou wert too hasty. It's a magically held lock. Wait a second, people. Can I pick failure? Wait, hold on. Thou hast found the answer. Proceed into the heart of Murkwood. No! No! Load game! It's a magically held lock. I need to know if I can pick it. Is that a bug in the game that sometimes you can just give no answer and it lets you through? Okay. Power. Okay. Magically held lock. I can't pilfer my way through. It just says failure. Okay. Okay, I'm pretty sure this here is a magically held lock. Okay, let's use this as our experimentation time. Steve, can you open a magically held lock? You can. And I know the skeleton's key can probably open it, so let's go ahead and let's double check that as well. All right, so money. Okay, so that money wasn't the answer, but let's go ahead and try using the skeleton's key. Just yeah, it works. Actually, I like this riddle. You know what? We're gonna end things here. I'm gonna actually think on this riddle again here. I like this one. I want to fool around with this one. I'm out of time anyways. So next time we're gonna go through this door and probably end up going underground into the core, the heart of Murkwood. But, you know, until that time comes, I'd like to ask you all to game on.